Welcome back to Glam and Guts. This is episode 3. We are here, and this is our own personal shit show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Fitzpatrick, as always. Sir,
I can't.
Please do not blow the microphone. I've told
3.
you before.
Week 3. It's been week 3. It's a dry spell of no sticks near or around the face, except the mic.
What? You've been on Sniffies so much. This whole Sniffies thing, it just blows my mind. I'm like, there is a site that he exposed me to called Sniffies, and apparently it's
Give
like
out
this,
that secret.
It's undercover. It's like there's no responsibility. It's all discreet, and it's like,
we call that cruising.
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 Cruising. That's why I said, "Are you a true cruiser?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
wow, she's giving out the real sniffy info out here today.
I'm just blowing this shit out of the water.
Listen,
I
blow
told
it out.
you, man. I break every rule, and that's why I'm wearing my slippers in a studio today.
That explains me some things around
I'm wearing
here,
slippers and a Lamborghini
which leads
hat.
me to my first question.
God, is it what I think it is?
How's your head?
Which one?
Well, you tell me, sniffer. Sniffy.
Well, one of them's pointed backwards like a rear view camera right now, so don't sneak up on me from behind.
Or do we sneak up from remember Grace Jones had the song, "Pull Up to My Bumper, Baby."
No, I don't
In your
remember.
long black limousine.
I probably should know that, but I don't. I'm sorry.
Huge Grace fan.
I'm sorry. I don't
She's
know.
like a
Who's Grace?
Grace Jones.
I don't know. There are some times when people mention artists and fashion and things like that, or just popular things I think I should know. That's the moment I realize I'm old. I'm enveloped in my business, and I play a lot of piano, and I spend a lot of time in the garage making decorations for Halloween and Christmas.
You're
and
damn good at all
I don't
things.
pay attention to pop shit.
That's all right. Don't pay attention to it. Just do me a favor. Put on some fucking Grace Jones.
Okay, that I can do.
At some point.
That I can do. I stopped listening to music about, let's see, 2000 era. I mean, you heard our mix on the way over today. I was listening to like a 90s, 2000, like rap, hip hop, and
yeah,
like we had SWV going, and Jagged Edge, like all these. Oh God, it was a great mix. Like, that is my era of music, and I never thought I'd say this, but now I understand why my parents, they didn't listen to our music when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, this music sucks. And that's what I think. I'm like, most music today sucks. I'm like, I cannot get into it. And then I realized also, I think it's the nostalgia of just being kids and we listen to music.
Yeah.
And that's why it stuck with us.
Well, nostalgia.
No shade to you artists out there. I love you.
In all elements, whether it be the nostalgia of a TV show, music, art, things you do, things you eat. Nostalgia is a big part of our, I think you mentioned on last week's episode, you touched a bit on dopamine.
Oh, God, yeah.
And like nostalgia has a way of like, I guess, releasing that. Not that I'm any scientist to be talking about us talking.
Oh, well, I
but
just happen to have a bachelor's of science degree. I read published medical studies almost every day for fitness and nutrition. So what do you want to know about dopamine?
Well,
I'm not a Dr. Andrew Huberman. I don't have a degree in neuroscience.
Who is he? Is he on Sniffies?
Oh, God. If Huberman was on Sniffies, oh, Daddy.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's so hot. God,
he's
okay. So Andrew Huberman is a Stanford neuroscientist. He started a podcast called the Huberman Labs podcast years ago, and I've been listening to it since day one because it's just brilliant. But Andrew, God bless him, he's married and he's got a beautiful wife and family, but he is
So what you're saying is he might be on Sniffies.
If he is and he's in my area, you will never ever know. Come on, show me.
Well,
I'm not connected to.
Let's not talk about your area, by the way, because
he's the one on the right. He's the one with the beard.
Daddy.
Right. He's so hot. And he's muscular. Like
beautiful.
He's
okay. So if he's on Sniffies, he would be just an image of an alias. Like he wouldn't. He gives off that he would.
Okay, but here's the question.
Yeah.
Would he top or bottom?
Listen.
I literally just nuked the scientific community. They're like, what the shit is happening right now? She's talking about Huberman, like one of the most respected like scientists in the community. I'm like, is he top or bottom? If he did.
Based off of the one image you showed me.
I feel like we're the South Park of podcasts. Like nobody's safe on our pod. Like
Oh,
we're gonna make fun of everybody.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, we've talked about Joe Rogan sitting on my face. We've talked.
Alex Huberman.
Ah,
Oh,
God.
sorry,
So
Andrew.
all this with asking how your head was.
My head's doing much better this week. Thank you.
Good.
Last week we talked about parenting, life is lifing, and my head's good. I got back to the heart of things.
Well, it's great. We've let a week happen. You've gotten to go home. We've gotten to vent. We've gotten to be together, and it brings me to this subject today.
Oh God,
faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tread on the word a bit because I don't want people to instantly go there because they hear the word and it's connected to religion and spirit, and that's okay. Thump away, thumper.
Yeah,
but
if that's your thing, go for it.
And here's the thing: I could thump with you, because
this is a trigger point.
Oh, I can't.
You might hear some things and some stuff.
I can't wait to trigger. And
I've just been dying to throw shade at all the fucking Bible thumpers that come for me on social media.
Oh, and how dare they?
Oh, well, it's like my favorite is, I ordered a bunch of fucking jewelry off Fashion Nova because I don't like paying for jewelry. I lose it. I bang it up. It falls out of my ears all the time. I just get cheap shit, right? And the last round I ordered was just, that's all they had. It was just a bunch of like crosses. I'm like, oh, these are fashionable. Cool. And I wear them. Like people just literally in the comments, take that cross off your neck. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I have a Hebrew tattoo on my arm that I can actually read and speak.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I probably read more of the Bible than you have in the original languages and know what it fucking means. My ex-wife's dad was a pastor. Like, oh, come on, dude.
That's why I find I often tell, and I relate this back to my therapy. And the reason I bring up the word faith is because
George Michael, wonderful.
I gotta have faith. God, I love him.
I'm so sidebarring. Before I knew like he was gay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change how I feel about him. And just you're young, like people, Gen X, like you got made fun of if anything was gay around you, like when we were young.
I was gay in school.
Oh, well, so
my nickname was
embraced
McGay.
it. But like in my era, my school, it was like, if you're gay, you get beat up. So, but like George Michael, like I just remember that cover, like he had this really beautiful, like 5 o'clock shadow beard and like the one and that video is awesome. I still, to this day, that song comes on, I will crank the volume in the car and I will jam out. I love it.
Last week you gave it up for the Nookie. Limp Bizkit did an amazing cover of that song.
You talking about my fit from last week? I love that fit. God.
But no, George Michael.
Channeling my inner Bella twin and Bunny.
George Michael, he brought that word up in the same context I'm bringing it up. It's like you got to have faith in something.
Right.
You can destine it to God. You can throw it at whoever your God is, and you can travel it that way. I often talk about my journey, and in my therapy, I will talk about seasons. I choose the word season to discuss where I'm at, like Taylor Swift talks about her Eras tour, the word era.
Okay.
I'm choosing the word season because it does connect a bit to the Bible. It does connect.
We're not talking like garlic salt seasoning or Lowry seasoning
but
salt.
You can be salty, honey. It's okay.
There's some
not
salty
you
bitches out there,
but you can be. And seasonings are great. Garlicky.
If y'all hear me coughing, I just have to say this. I'm going to say it again. I have vocal cord dysfunction. My vocal cords actually close when I breathe in. So you'll hear like a expiratory wheeze. And so it kind of feels like I'm dying all the time. I have a bone spur on one of my C vertebrae that's pushing on my esophagus. So we think that my brain believes I'm swallowing food all the time.
Oh.
And so that causes me to cough. So don't mind me. I'm not diseased.
I don't think you're diseased.
Okay, back to you. Sorry.
But what I was saying
back to seasons.
I feel like I have chose, and I take it fucking serious because here's the thing. In my therapy, it's good that I do it this way because this season is actually, we're changing. We're in summer, right? And then we're going to go into fall. And in that season, I'm going to probably change. So I take it serious because I look at you and I, for an example, our friendship, our season of our friendship.
It's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's so fucking awesome. And like when I look at seasons 4 years ago.
Dude, it's just serendipitous.
Oh, but 4 years ago, we went through a season when I first met you and when we were first talking and you were rediscovering, like I told you, I said that season of your life, the group around you, I kept saying to you, I knew you weren't wanting to be a part of that. It was like you were just trying to find a peace, but that was a season.
Oh God, that
your life.
Yeah, I think every person goes through seasons, but for trans women specifically, God, it was like a hormone raging, trying to have a second puberty, reliving my childhood season. It was terrible.
And that's why, like, for me, this season.
No wonder the world thinks that trans women are crazy.
My season of my life now is very different because I don't have time for bullshit. And love.
Zero time.
I don't listen to it. I don't care for it. It's my path. It's my season I'm on. It's the journey I'm on. It's the chapter of the season that I'm in is teaching me that I am allowed to think and feel and do what I want. And I have time and I have space for people. I don't need anyone to do what I'm doing. It's my journey.
Sure.
But I'm taking you with me. And I think that's what I've loved so much about you because you, when we've talked about seasons of our lives and we talked about faith and what I've learned about you, and I learned a lot about it, as a matter of fact, and Kendra and I, we talked about
the smirk
this.
on your face. I'm nervous. I love Kendra. Hi.
Kendra's great. We're probably going to talk about her a
Kendra's
lot.
our girl who does all the beautiful installs for WWE and AEW. She made my mother wig, and she's a gorgeous soul. Gorgeous human. God. Just incredible.
Nia Jax, Zelina Vega, the list goes on of installs that she makes. But anyways, I remember sitting backstage at the show. The show.
Which show?
The show.
We're talking about Mother's return to the ring. My official return to the ring at the Improv in Irvine, where we sold out the house with 500 people and tore the house down at the main event, and nobody could hold a candle to that. Yeah. 20-minute long match and felt like it too. I'm not trying to put myself over, but okay, yeah, I am. I don't need to. It happened.
The word that comes to mind is faith. Having faith in yourself. Jessie Lawless was out there, which, by the way, we love you, Jessie, so much. I just sent Jessie a beautiful message a few days ago.
So many people came to support.
Yeah, Bunny
was there. Jessie, Haley, Mimi was there. Heidi Levon and James, Eden and Christian came. Jessie was obviously there. There were so many people. I'm forgetting. Chava was there.
Yes,
Sherry, Rick Bassman.
We love Rick Bassman.
I had a huge amount of support there. And thank you guys all for coming. That was wonderful.
But Kendra and I sat backstage and we were kind of having our own bond moment amongst the mother. And we were just bonding over how little seeds get planted on your journey and how they evolve and they blossom. And we were saying it's so crazy because Kendra remembers when I first started posting that we were hanging out and whatever, we were blooming. Not to be confused with the blooming onion from Outback, because man, when I think of the word blooming, I think of that amazing appetizer.
The blooming onion. I used to get those back in the day.
I'm sure you're a big fan of me talking about blooming onions right now.
Oh, I know where you're going with that.
Anyways,
ew. It reminds. God, we were talking about eating ass the other day too, and how this is the whole conversation. We're definitely supposed to be talking about faith today. We're going to sidebar into ass eating because we were walking out of Costco and we just done filming this video where Mickey was just talking about his bussy the whole time,
or yours
or mine. I don't have a bussy. I hate that fucking word. Stop. I have a hole. I have a singular hole.
There you go.
But we were just talking about eating ass, and I'm just I can't do it. I won't need to do his ass. It's not gonna happen, man. There's just a lot of funk down there. I mean, if it was waxed, shaved, fresh out of the shower,
that happens.
Maybe
I
might be willing.
You would be surprised.
But like the comments out of Mickey's fucking mouth, I was just like, oh my God.
And what did I say to you, Gabby? I said it in Costco amongst the thousands of people passing by. As I said, Gabby, you're worried about what's going out of my mouth. You should be worried about what's going in.
This is took a turn for the worse.
But the thing is listen.
The flavor saver.
Flavor.
So back to the tasteful blooming onion.
The tasteful blooming onion. Now, I was just saying, like, we were reflecting on how much faith you got to have in yourself. Look at what you did. Look at how it came together.
We're talking about my wrestling read
that night, man. That night, though, like how many people you brought together. I'm almost sure that Bunny like flew in, traveled from one major part of California to another. You had Jesse flown in. We're talking about people who drove all over to be at this event
because they're beautiful souls.
And
they wanted to support.
But that's because people have faith in you. And that's what the word is. That's where I wanted to go into. I wanted to dive right into that because we throw the word around and it's like, but you know, in my journey and on my season of my life, I'm learning that the faith in myself is the Holy Spirit. That's my version of it, right? Because I do believe in God and I do believe in Jesus. That's my story. That's my journey. But on top of that, with that Holy Spirit, I'm gravitated, and we're taught in
Kaylee came out.
We
Viking Barbie was also there.
We have the moment of where you allow yourself to think about things for a minute, and you have to take yourself out of the equation because in my religion, you're taught that it's not about you; it's about God, it's about Jesus, it's about that's your faith. That's where you're putting your trust in. And so with that being said, you know, Kendra and I, we were talking spirituality backstage. We were talking about you and how awesome this was that Gabby brought us together. But it's because not only do we have so much faith in you, but you had faith in us.
Oh God, yeah.
And you trusted us. And that takes a big part of you taking yourself out of the equation. And that's the big part of this journey that we're all in. We often get caught up in ourselves sometimes, and we forget it's not about us. Our journeys have been planned. It's just a matter of we just need to navigate and pivot our way through, our lives and do it with respect and love. And one thing about our friendship and what we do is we have always put respect on each other.
Oh God, yes. And above everything else, like that is number one for me.
But I have to say, this journey that you've gone through has always been so inspiring to me because you're doing it unapologetically.
Oh yeah.
Authentically. You're doing it with your pride in your family. I see you celebrate your mama. I see you taking her to Disney.
Love you, Mom.
Mia's going first. Dad's there. Dad and I spoke. I remember when we were in San Francisco in the hotel room, we were trying to pivot to get that to happen.
I was trying to go see my dad. My parents still married. My dad just has a bad knee, so he can't fly right now.
But that takes faith. It takes faith. So I have to ask you, so today's subject being that, where does the faith come from for you? Where does it start? How does it?
Man, you said unapologetically me. It's not so much. I guess it is unapologetically, but it's more like I just don't give a fuck anymore. I am all out of fucks. I'm a negative fucks actually. My fucks account is overdrawn. I am negative.
Chase, how would you cop that check?
Like the overdraft fees are accruing because it stays negative. I don't give a shit anymore. But that was something I had to come to. Like as a man, before I transitioned, I was this monstrous 280-pound bodybuilder with big ass dreadlocks down to my butt. I didn't give a fuck back then. Here's the thing. I thought I didn't give a fuck because I have always been I was always a good-looking boy. I was a handsome child. I was a cute kid, handsome child, gorgeous guy. Like, we gotta
Mhm.
flash some photos of me. Like,
Oh, honey.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would date me.
oh,
Was that
honey.
me,
Is
Mickey?
is he on Sniffies, dog?
God, if Gabe was on Sniffies, I would eat his ass.
Let me put it this way. There's a lot of gay men that wanna I have lots of gay friends in my circle, and they have questions, darling.
About
They
who
bring
Gabe
this
used to be?
mic. Well, we just have to ask questions, darling, because they're like, "Damn, Gabe, I know you're with Gabby all the time, but Gabe," and I was like, "Babe, I don't have Tyler and I." Tyler left as I came in.
When he says
So-
Tyler, he's talking about my wrestling persona,
and
Tyler
because
Rex.
that's in a weird,
Yeah.
funny way. Again, Renee Paquette is kind of how we connected, and
Right.
again, wrestling is what connected us. But Tyler,
It was a hunk, man. He was super hot.
fuck.
And just didn't like, especially after wrestling, because wrestling was so wild. I had everybody in my ear. I lost my confidence. We were told in FCW to shut up. And FCW was Florida Championship Wrestling. That was the current, the equivalent of the Performance Center now for WWE. And we were told to shut up, don't ask questions, be humble, take your opportunity, don't make waves. Like, okay, so every bit of creativity and everything that I was just shut the fuck up. And so I did. And then when I left, I was like, oh, I don't give two shits anymore about what anybody thinks. Like, Priscilla's parents didn't like the fact that I cussed in my social media videos, and it caused a rift in between her and her, because her parents were in the church. Like, her dad was a pastor, her mom's a pastor's wife, obviously.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, there was a big thing. Her brother was just, everybody was very upset at me, and I'm like, one day I'm all, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm fucking 30 something years old. I'm 36 years old. I'm a grown ass man. I don't take shit from anybody. I'm like, if I want to cuss on social media, I'm gonna cuss on social media.
Yeah.
Your parents don't like that. Too fucking bad. And like, they don't have to drive. I don't have to drive out and drop my daughter off so they can have visiting time and go see her. Like, I don't have to do any of that anymore out of the goodness of my heart. And like, fuck that. So, short version is that was the moment I stopped giving a fuck as a man. I'm like, I need to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And social media back then, they tried to eat me alive then, and I was just like, two middle fingers to everybody and just kept being me. And when that happened, I unlocked this new part of me. And I always say, when you stop giving a fuck about what other people think, you unlock your true potential. And as a man, I thought I did that. Then one day I'm like, oh, I want to be a girl.
Then there's that.
I mean, it didn't happen like that, but
yeah,
it was a long, progressive, just kind of trying to fucking understand what's going on. And I will tell you guys, to this day, I don't know why I transitioned. I really don't, but it was life or death for me. I wanted to, and we can't probably air this on social media, but for the podcast, I want to shoot myself in the head. I had suicidal moments. I had a gun in my hand that was loaded at one point. Oh yeah, I was in the closet with a loaded gun. I was going to end it all.
Wait, in the closet, like you were in the closet, or are we talking about physical?
Physically in the
Oh,
closet.
okay.
I was, my walk-in closet.
In your house?
Yeah, at the very end where that chair is that I sit in, the bench, I was on my knees there with a loaded gun, one in the chamber, and it was racked. It was ready to fire.
Whoa.
And it was very, it was months leading up to this. I was getting more, I'm not a depressive person. I don't get depressed, but Priscilla and I were very rocky. Like, I couldn't do anything right. And just like, nothing was good enough for anybody. And I just started, my energy levels just got really low. Like if there was an energy level around your heart, like think of like a white light, and it just was slowly extinguishing, and it was getting lower to the ground. I wanted to be low to the ground all the time. I cannot explain the feeling. It's like I wanted to be back against the ground, laying down on the cold earth. And I had visions in my head of me putting a gun to my head. And it got to the point where I could like feel the cold steel of the barrel against my head in these visions. And I didn't want these visions. And one day it was just too much. And Priscilla was out with Mia somewhere. And I was on the ground in the closet with my Glock in my hand.
Stop.
I had actually racked it, and I was just bawling my eyes out, because this is how my brother shot himself in the head.
Gabby, really?
Yeah, and I swore I saw the pain it caused my family. I swore I would never. It was like I was on autopilot, and I was just bawling and just like, this is it. And I was like raising the gun to my head. I remember my neighbor he's a warrant officer over in Killeen at Fort Hood, and him and I were bros. And he told me, we still are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I use that term. I assume that.
Was like, is he on Sniffies? Did something happen? Okay,
no.
All right.
And no, Eric saved my life that night, because we had many like hangouts on the front patio, and like we barbecued together, like when I was a guy and stuff. And he had just lost a lot of his good friends, like they're veterans, and they couldn't handle it, and they killed themselves. They committed suicide. Like he had done several tours in Iraq, and he told me, he's like, if you ever get to a point where, and it was just a random conversation. You ever get to a point where something like that's on your mind, you call me. And at the last moment, like I was raising the gun, I remembered that, and I picked the phone. I just crying, I called him like, Eric, I've got a gun in my hand. I'm gonna pull the trigger. And he's like, don't go anywhere. I'm not home. Stay there. Stay on the phone with me. And he called my neighbor, Teddy and Sam, who live across the street, and they came in. Teddy took the gun out of my hand, and I'm still here.
So wait a minute. This was how long ago?
2021.
So right around the time we met.
Yeah.
Then
it wasn't long after that.
So all right. So feel me out. So that moment, what you just spoke about is the calling I have in my season now. Not the suicide, not that part, but it's the pivotal part where you go, okay, so Eric is his name?
Eric.
So Eric was put in your life. You've told me, okay, so I'm going to back it up even further. I'm going to go deep. We go deep. We're going to have a Janet Jackson moment.
Let's get deep.
You bought this home. This was not the home you wanted. I remember that story.
No, this was popped up.
This was a home that popped up because originally you wanted the house on the hill with the glass.
That came later.
So
Priscilla and I were rocky. We had a friend that lived in literally a block away from where we live now, in my house now. She was a real estate agent. She called Priscilla. We were having like major marital problems, and she's like, if you guys want a fresh start, there's a home that's brand new construction. It's a block away from me. I can sell it to you. I won't take a commission.
And you go into this house. And
from California to Texas, we bought it without ever stepping foot in it.
Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to get deep.
Mm-hmm.
You get into a home. You have this wonderful neighbor, wonderful, great guy.
Great family.
And I know about you've talked to me about the family and how wonderful they are over the years. But my question is, has it crossed your mind? Because this is where I'm at. When you start to think about moments like, wow, this house came up, but the person that lives next door to me was put into my life for a reason. And you start to have those moments. That's where I'm at now. Everything happens right now where I'm currently at happens that way. On my flight to Austin 3 weeks ago when we were starting this podcast, I was watching Stephen Furtick. Do you know who Stephen Furtick is?
No idea.
An amazing pastor, Elevation Church, Elevation Worship in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
He inspires me in so many ways when he speaks about God and he speaks about Jesus and how he touches me.
Whoa.
And
Whoa. Wait, what?
No, we're not speaking of sniffies.
Okay.
And
that stuff goes on in the church, but I'm like,
honey. But so I'm flying over here and I'm having those moments because I think about how we are brought into each other's lives and how we are shaped and how we are formed. And I can't help but in this season of my life to get deep, to think about those moments, to think about, wow, Eric was put into my life. Like I've not had the suicide moments.
I don't wish that on anybody.
No.
God.
No.
That on anybody.
But I've had those thoughts run through my head where
I think a lot of people do.
I where it comes in my head, and I've spoke to my therapist about it, and it's weird because how it comes into inform with me is I get these thoughts where I'm like, people show up to my funeral, I'm in the casket and they're all mourning me. Yeah, and they're mourning me. Everyone's like, man, Mickey's gone, blah, blah, blah. Those are the thoughts I get, and it makes me sad. And then I'm like, what does that mean? Because like, Mickey's off. Oh, he's sad. But I love my therapist because he's like, we can get all therapy, psychology about it, but then we can also get artistic about it because maybe what it's actually doing is preparing you for the death of a certain situation. Maybe it's not physical form. Maybe it's the death of, that you're getting ready to end this relationship and you're moving on.
Oh.
Ooh, right? So deep.
Well, also, were you getting at, you talked about Eric and the family being there. I feel like you might have been circling around like serendipitous, kind of coincidental serendipitous.
Yes.
Where everything happens for a reason. I think so many of us don't recognize that. I think things do, I truly I have no fate tattooed on my knuckles because I don't believe in predetermined fate. However, I'm also a scientist and I believe that, the past, present, and future have already happened in all different, not
Ooh.
predetermined, but like if you think about, Doctor Strange and in Endgame, when he saw all the millions of different possibilities,
Yes.
all those possibilities have played out. But I believe that there's markers in our life where we choose. And we choose which timeline we're going to, jump to. And I know it sounds kind of crazy and woo-woo to you guys, but I could have ended it, and then that would have been one timeline. Or I remembered at that moment I made that phone call, and then this timeline plays out. But it's very serendipitous that we moved into there. I went through this moment, and from that second on, I never wanted to die again. I never wanted to go through that. I'm so glad that I didn't pull the trigger. I'm so glad that Eric had that talk with me that one time. I'm so glad that Teddy and Sam lived across the street and that me and Priscilla were not home. I'm just like, everything worked out perfectly. Hi.
I'm grabbing your hand right
Oh,
now. I'm
I
grabbing
love you.
Gabbi's hand because I'm glad you did not.
Thank you.
Because let me tell you, we met after that.
It was either after
It
or
would have had to have
before.
been after because remember, you were
I don't remember when that
full
was.
drag. We were Renee Paquette interview. That's how
And for the record, I've never done drag, but early
sorry.
transition, you just, if you don't wear a wig, I was going to say you look like a guy, but I look like a guy no matter what. It's like, we don't understand so early in the transition. I'm just delusional. I was fucking delulu thinking like, I'm pretty. I look like a girl.
You are pretty though. You were, but that's the thing.
Thanks. It just was just, I look back and I just couldn't look good.
Yeah, but I say drag because again, like
that's what it was.
a few weeks ago, I said on the episode, RuPaul makes a statement about we're all born naked and the rest is drag. Because that's the thing. We're all skin and bones and the rest is we get up and how we decide we dress and how decide we fucking look. Like when I dressed you up like you were going to be in a fucking Limp Bizkit music video and you were going to give it up for the Nookie. But again, it's drag. Nikki and Brie Bella, drag. When they go out to the ring, they're drag. But when you see those girls out in the street, they're still drag. It's just their element of it. So when I say the word drag,
oh, I'm not offended.
No, I know you're not.
By the way,
I just
you
want
cannot
to be.
offend me. Nobody can offend me. Like
I'm specifying
I'm not a special snowflake.
for our peeps that are potentially listening and in that probably season of their life where you were. I don't want it to be taken as that I thought you were in drag, because I know you know that. But I just want everybody to know that's not what I would take that moment as. But when I met you, you were in that season of your life, so I think it was after that
we met.
Yeah,
it might have been, but no matter what it was, it's just I'm so grateful for the way things played out. And now I know that, like, you have to know what you don't want to be able to move away from it. And that's why rock bottom is so important for a lot of people. And we get so fucking complacent sometimes that we're close to rock bottom, but we're not quite there. And we just live and complain and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, one of the things I subscribe to, we talk about faith. My faith is in myself. And the day I stopped pointing fingers at other people, my situation, my environment, for all the things that were quote unquote happening to me, everything changed. My life took a whole new turn when I started taking full responsibility for every situation that I'm in. And some people are not going to get this. And if it's not you, fucking don't worry about it.
When you say responsibility, real quick, do you also mean accountability?
Accountability, responsibility, realizing that I am in full control of every situation. If I had an argument with Priscilla or some shit did not go my way, I would look back on that and go, what could I have done differently to get the outcome that I wanted? And I realize today I can walk into any room, any situation and get the outcome I want. There are events that must play out. I must say certain things or do certain things to make that happen. And if it doesn't go the way I want it the first time, I treat it like an experiment. I go, okay, that didn't work. Let me try again and do something slightly different. And I'll remove this variable or do something different or say something different or act a different way or bring a different emotion or energy. But I take responsibility for everything. My life changed dramatically and in the moment when I took full responsibility for everything in my life. And that's why when you say I have faith in myself, from walking into that wrestling ring again, when I brought Mother forward into the Irvine spectrum, I knew it would go the way I wanted to, but I had to practice a certain way. I had to prepare a certain way. I had to determine who Mother was. And I knew it took every day cutting promos in the house and developing her character. Like I figured it the fuck out because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I decided I must have this outcome. And so for people that are listening and watching, if there's an outcome that you want in your life, we don't always get our I wants. We don't always get our I shoulds. Remember that as humans. We very, very rarely get our some days. But our musts as humans, we always get our musts.
Yeah.
And as far as like dates and deadlines, when you put a deadline on something, now it's no longer a dream. It's not something you're thinking about. It's like, hey, it's like when we decided to do this podcast. We're like, okay, you're flying out of this day. Oh shit, we're doing it. It's happening. You put the money down. You're flying. We booked the studio. It's happening.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this isn't a dream. We're doing a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
when it's a must, you find a way. It's never how, it's why. You got the why, the how will happen. And so that's how I look at life. I take responsibility, you find the fucking reason, and everything else falls into place.
Yeah, I find that a lot of times that's where I find myself caught in the prayer, is what I always say.
Caught in the prayer?
Yeah, it's a thing that I do for me
Okay.
when I circle back around. It's a note I take for myself. It's a moment that I realize I'm caught in my prayer. Like, when you, and I say but when I find myself in a moment where I'm like, I have to pray for this person. I have to pray for them. They're struggling. This is not good. They're not okay. I call it a caught in the prayer moment. And a lot of times I can't get out of that until I've done it. It's because I see that person struggling and I know that. And that could even be me. It could be my own struggle. And it's like, Mickey, you've prayed about this. And it's a repeat moment in my head of, you don't feel good about it.
Right.
You don't feel right. It's caught in the prayer. And that is when I tell myself, like, if you're caught in the prayer, you're having a caught in the prayer moment, God ain't happy with you, buddy. You need to kick it. You need to move away from that moment. You need to get out of it. It's not good for you. It
So it's almost as though it's a self-realization that whatever's happening to you, if you don't take action, you will stay in that same cycle. And
absolutely.
That's another thing that I preach as we're talking about faith. And then I'll circle back to me not giving a fuck in my transition. But if you want change in your life, and I say this all the time, and on like my TikTok lives, my Instagram lives that I do, I encourage people when they're ready to make a change in life, you have to take action. If you're stuck in a situation, if you're stuck in prayer, what do you call it? Stuck in prayer?
It's a prayer. Yeah, caught in a prayer.
Caught in a prayer. Okay. If you're caught in the prayer and you're like, God save me, do this, like, okay, but you got to take action to make it happen.
Absolutely.
It's like you must start the momentum.
Yeah.
So if you want change,
absolutely,
you must take action. And it's got to be something different than you've already been doing, because what you've been doing is not working.
Yeah.
And literally the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. And so do something different than you've done before and take action.
Yeah.
End of story. So circling back to the transition, when I started transition, I thought I didn't give a fuck as a guy. And then suddenly here I was, this beautiful, handsome hunk of a man, Gabe. And I start taking estrogen and start shaving my face and getting laser removal and electrolysis and just patchy hair all over my face and experimenting with like how to express myself in a feminine way and starting to wear more feminine clothes. It was an androgynous kind of at first, and then it moved to feminine. And that's a weird fucking stage for a massive alpha male to go through. And then to see people, the looks that I would get and the fucking under the breath comments and the stares. I'm like, yep, people are uncomfortable around me. And then to know that I am no longer a good looking person. Like I was this fucking ugly duckling. Like it was this disgusting, I felt like a creature. The things that were said to me on social media, the things that were mumbled under people's breath, the way they would look at me. I had people shout shit at me all the time. Like if I was out trying to like integrate, even in like, around the gay community, you'd walk down the street to go back to the parking lot and shit said to you by people that are not gay, because like Congress Street is right there and you're one block over from the straight community, I felt like a creature. I felt non-human. And even to this day, people are like, what is that? What kind of fucking creature is this? I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. But what it does is you either sink or you learn to swim. You either get caught up in what everybody else is thinking and you let the world shoot all its fucking flaming arrows at you and you take them all and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Or you learn to take those flaming arrows and let them bounce the fuck off of you. And this was a journey of learning to love myself in a different way, because not being pretty, not being handsome, it forced me to look inside and love who I was. And this sounds so cliche, but it's like, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, nobody's ever satisfied when you look in the mirror. There are things that you will love about yourself, and you should focus on the things that you love about yourself physically. But God, I encourage you to see through that.
That's what I love about fashion, though. That's my real true. That's what you're saying is what made me fall in love with fashion, because I never, even when I was rail thin, skinny, honey, we talked about this before. What made me love myself more was that, I loved how the clothes fit. And a lot of people have the struggle that when they look in the mirror, they do, but then they also put on the clothes, and then that adds more salt to the wound.
Oh, I see that every day with my clients, my coaching clients. Yeah.
It's the finding the fine point in looking at your reflection and going, all right, the clothes fit good, everything fits okay, but then what? Because
well, you either love yourself or you don't. And that's what it boils down to. Like, you can be the most beautiful person in the world. The clothes can fit great, but if you're not happy in life,
right,
what the fuck does that mean? And what defines happiness? And that's that's where I'm getting at, is if you love who you are, it raises your energy levels. It will cause you to and if you're loving who you are, you're going to focus on more positive things in general. It's back to earlier. I can't remember this episode or last episode. It was last episode when I was talking about Mia, and where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focusing on the negative, your energy is going to be very negative and low, and you're not going to feel great. You're not be confident. If you love who you are, you're going to find those things about yourself that you do love physically, and then emotionally, you're going to learn to just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Because as a transitioning human, I just one day it was like, I love who I am and I don't fucking care anymore. And that was the most freeing. It was after this disastrous, I think it was like a Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend or something like that. I was downtown with one of my friends and I was overdressed. I was in a very pretty dress, like a very slim, like long dress that was sparkly, and wearing heels, making me 6'7". And I still, wearing wigs, no facial surgery, and walked down, a bunch of college kids there, and just a bunch of shit was shouted at me. Like,
I mean,
look at this fucking man, oh my God. I know what I am, I get it. But it was just so demeaning. And I just didn't want to leave the house. I didn't leave the house for a fucking week. And then I had to have a breakthrough. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, fuck it. And after that moment, I just didn't care. And everything changed.
But you know what? It's so funny because I'm hearing you talk about transition physically going through it. And I think about so many people that sit in my chair, women, biological women, that with the Ozempic and the semaglutides and
all the GLP-1s.
Yeah,
the glucagon-like peptides.
I'm watching a lot. Talk about transition.
Oh, yeah.
I am watching transition. So a lot of people that have felt they were the Shreks of their lives for many years, there's a big glow up happening right now in the world that people are kind of refinding themselves. There's a big transition now I'm watching it in Hollywood even. We're watching big stars that were a certain way, which we loved them for who they were, right? They were household. But I'm starting, because of this, I'm hearing a lot of these stories of people transitioning in finding we loved them. We were Rebel Wilson's a good one. She made us laugh our asses off.
I don't know who Rebel Wilson is. Oh, I'm sorry. Remember, I'm the not cool 46-year-old.
Rebel's been in, oh my gosh, so many movies, but Bridesmaids is one of them.
It's an older movie. I saw it a long time ago.
She's in it, and she lost a bunch of weight. She was a plus size girl.
Okay.
She is skinny.
More power to her.
Right? But she's talking about this very thing you're talking about, this transition in her life when she was like, I thought I was this person. And then I had to go through this phase of, as I was losing the weight, skin was starting to sag. My face was, and she's got paparazzi following her. and she's going through a
Brutal.
huge story at the same time where she was caught in I think there was some legal thing going on with her with like another couple actors or something.
Sure.
So she's in the limelight going through this ugly phase.
Ugh.
So she's getting hit with paparazzi.
And then they're just the fucking rags, or I call them the rags, like the terrible tabloid stuff. They just take it and they spin the story just to get fucking clicks and views and stuff, and they sensationalize like your moment, and it sucks. Like I remember when I was losing all the muscle, and I had lost so much muscle mass. This was before, it was after my facial surgery. I had so much loose skin around like my neck and my jaw and everything. Like I would smile, I'd have like 6 chins. And I had to go get a facelift because of it.
That's what the facelift was.
That's why I got it. Yeah, I literally was so uncomfortable in my skin. A second time around, like I had lost a significant amount of muscle mass. I mean, this is years of me losing muscle mass. It's not easy to lose muscle, by the way, people. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of work. But I lost so much muscle. I had a big head as a dude. Like there was just a lot of just like head. And you gonna go there?
Listen, don't get me going
There
with
was a
Gabe
lot of
and
that
that
too, but
head.
that shrunk
honey.
too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely a little she stick right now.
Why did I think of a cheese stick? All
Ew!
of a sudden?
Oh God! Don't
You said
ever.
cheese stick, and I was like, "Ooh, a
No, I
bitch
said
could go for a cheese stick."
Cheese stick.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
Don't compare my cheese stick to a cheese.
I just
stick.
picture the cheese coming out as I'm pulling it away.
Mickey, we can't. You're making me feel like I feel cheesy.
Wait, cheesy
Ew!
in the right places?
Ew,
Gabby?
gross. No, this is why I that conversation at Costco, because that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of there being like leftover pieces down there. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Cheese stick.
I hit my head so much I can't remember what the train of thought was.
Cheese sticks. We were
Before
talking
cheese
about
sticks, what were we talking about?
Well, you were talking about your cheese stick.
Oh, so the second most I would just like I couldn't even go out in public because I'd smile and I have like 6 chins and just I would sit there and like my skin would just hang. So I got a facelift in 2020.
I did not realize that's why you did the facelift. We just talked about this, by the way. We were talking about. I was like, I would love a facelift. And you're
You
like,
don't need it. You're not even close. I was just like psyched
I
everywhere.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I feel 10 years younger. It's great, and
Holy
all
shit,
my
I didn't think about
confidence
that.
came back. All of my confidence came back.
So in that phase, what gave you faith? And so and I'm picturing now, because I did not think of the extra Gabe skin. Gabe's foreskin. We're going to call it Gabe's foreskin.
Oh, God. And I still I have more of that. Like you saw how big my back was as a man, and we should show a picture of my back as a guy right now. And it's like some crazy photos of like how wide my back was. Cause I focused a lot on my back muscles because I wanted the wide back. Like I have like little skin rolls, like bra rolls down here that no matter what won't go away. So that's going to take lipo and like skin tightening stuff to get those to go away because I've lost so much weight.
So lipo in skin. So like I had a friend like cut skin like off because of stretch marks.
You can do that, yeah.
So that's a thing. I'm learning about all these
but
surgeries.
like when you have, we've talked previously about me not having my BBL yet. But one of the things that they do when I do eventually someday go get it, they will do what's called body tight. If I remember I think that's the correct term. Short version is, they suck all the fat out of you. They put it in your hips and your butt, so you'll have some nice curves. But then what they do is they use this stuff called body tight. I don't remember exactly how it works, but the short version is wherever the cannula goes, it causes the skin to suck right to the muscle so you don't have any loose skin.
Wow.
And it stays that way. And so that's one of the things I'm going to have to do for like my mid back because I've lost so much muscle. And my skin was just there was such a big back there. But we were talking about faith anyway.
Yeah. What gave you in that moment because you go back and you said, you look in the mirror, and like I said for you, I look in the mirror, I don't see what I like, but sometimes if I put on the right outfit, I'm like, all right, I give a shit now. I love the way I look. But like you were saying, so what goes through your head as Gabe in that moment? What through in your mind and what gave you faith so that you can get through this?
Which moment are we talking about?
That when you looked in the mirror and you weren't happy with the reflection you were looking at. What was giving you faith in that moment?
Knowing that other people had done it before me and that there were surgeries and solutions, knowing that. And so, I'm not encouraging anyone to transition. I don't wish this journey on anyone ever. A trans journey, I wish this on no one. It's the hardest fucking thing I've ever done. It's wild. I went from what I was to this now, and I'm still not done. And I'm going September 1st. So this will air, I think, October. By the time it airs, I'll have my consult for my bottom surgery, which I don't even know if I want because it's a scary fucking surgery.
Bottom surgery.
Yeah. Well, and I'm getting it done at NYU, and it's like, if I don't go, I pushed it back a year already for the consult, and if I don't go, they'll lose my place in line. I'm like, okay, but I'm not big on the surgery. There's so many complications with it, and that's one thing that I was never told. Things excuse me, things I was never told. You will not grow hips. You will not grow a butt. That just does not happen. You cannot, your voice doesn't feminize. You can get surgeries for it, but your voice won't feminize with estrogen. I didn't know that. I didn't realize I did vocal surgery. You can lose hair from all the surgeries you're doing. Like, that's one of the reasons I just had a hair transplant. They shaved most of the back of my head for donor hair because my hair just kept falling out after general anesthesia and hormone adjustments and all sorts of stuff. They don't tell you that, your hands will stay the same size, your feet will stay the same size. There's like all these, my feet shrunk two sizes, my hands, fucking bullshit, delusional bitches. It's the same girls that are telling you get periods. I'm like, I don't have a fucking uterus. I'm not going to get a period. I'm not going to get a cycle. I'm not going to get cramps. If you have cramps as a trans woman, you ate too much fucking bad food. But the point is, like, the thing that got me through was understanding that, yes, there was a path to follow that can get me to where I wanted to be. Even though now I'm here and I've realized, I can't get exactly where I wanted to be and I have to live with these things, which again is probably many of the reasons I don't date. God, I could get really deep really quick. We talked about it on one of the previous episodes, but for the sake of it now, it's like, one of the things I always consider is like, if I do go through with bottom surgery, then I'm just I'm a post-op trans woman with big hands and big feet.
Yeah, but
like man hands and man feet. I'm like, well, there's no excuse now. Like,
yeah,
there's
but
nothing feminine about my hands.
But it's your path. It's your journey. And
I just don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah.
There's just things.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't care. I'm like, I like who I am. I enjoy what I do. I help thousands of people on a monthly basis between my coaching business and the videos that I put out for health and food and nutrition. And I'm like, I find joy and fulfillment in that, not what my hands look. And I joke about my man hands all the time.
And that's the thing. You have a sense of humor because you have to.
Yeah.
And that's,
you can't laugh at yourself. Like, what the fuck are we even doing?
And that's the I think the key to having faith is you believe enough in yourself. And again, in my world, that's where the Holy Spirit comes into play because you're taught that it's inside you already, that God is inside you and you're supposed to trust that. And that's where my confidence comes from is that
because you had a like coming back to Jesus moment, right?
Yeah. So
I had a moving away from Jesus and you had a coming to Jesus moment
in this season.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, when you refer to your thing is like, you have everything else, but then you got like stuck with like the man hands or something like that. And I have like my little tidbits of things that I feel like I'm still left with, even though I'm in this place. And I feel like that's where you put the glitter on it. You're like, well, I can go and do like hand surgeries, I guess. You could if
there's no surgery. I spent months researching it, trying to see if there was a way to like tighten the skin around, at least like, I did so much as a guy. Like, it's so funny. So many people in the comments are always like, failed man. I'm like, fuck you. I didn't fail.
Failed man.
Yeah. They're like, failure as a man. And that's why you transitioned, because you failed as a man.
That's where we went there with that.
And I'm going to say that I did so many things as a guy that involved my hands. Like, I worked on cars. I raced motorcycles, and I did really good at racing motorcycles. Like, not dirt bikes. I road raced at like Circuit of the Americas and Thunder Hill and what's Sears Point, which is now Infineon, I believe, is what it's called. I built fucking things. I was, used sledgehammers and just never fucking took care of my hands. And they were strong because I lifted weights without gloves and anything like that. And they got calloused and they're thick around the fucking knuckles. And it's like, when you say failure as a man, I'm like, wait a second. I had multiple seven-figure businesses as a man.
You
I
had
had a great family. I have a child. I was on television. I did more things than 99 points.
And you're actually doing it as a man and a woman now.
And I'm doing it again now.
So I'm like,
So it's like, big middle finger to everybody else. But it's like, those things I did as a man, they created these hands with these big ass fucking. And as I've lost weight, what you see is like residual skin around my knuckles. I'm like, if I could just tighten that somehow,
is there that really? Oh, really? You really think it?
Oh, I look at my
really.
I hate my hands, Mickey. I hate them. I try to hide them as much as possible.
I feel like you know what? Now that I'm thinking this, I felt like we did kind of, but this is a long time ago. We did kind of talk about the hands.
Yeah,
like now that I'm like thinking,
and I've talked to surgeons, there is nothing to be done. There is nothing to fix. It's not like my hands are wrinkled like in this area. It's specifically around my knuckles because there was so much muscle in my fingers that is now kind of faded. But it's like there is no way to tighten it and just make them look less weathered. And I'm like, I can live with big hands, but at least I'd like them to be elegant. So if you ever notice on the pod, my hands are always down. I don't ever show them.
Listen, and here I am, never paid attention. Because you know what? You're so no, I don't give a fuck. I think you're beautiful. And I'm not looking at your fucking hands because you have some big old titties I can look at.
I do have some rockets.
But no, I'm not looking
Which are fucked up too. Like there's so much that's fucked up. I've had let's talk about fucked up. Here I'm saying I don't give a fuck and I'm having faith in myself, but this is like I've had vocal surgery. I've got no Adam's apple anymore. I've had vocal surgery. It failed because my vocal cord dysfunction. My titties, I've had a revision, like because I've had open heart surgery, like shit's gone all wire, like AWOL, like they're fucked up, man. When I went back to wrestling, I remember one day I was at the dungeon with Natty and I kind of felt like this twinge in like my pec muscle area right here. And Natty she's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I got a little twinge, no big deal. And then I got back to Texas and I was at Rhodes Wrestling Academy before I went over to AAPW, which I'm one of the head coaches over there now. I was at Rhodes. Like Dustin was so cool to me. He's like, just come practice. I'm like, okay. And so this was like when I started my return to wrestling. I was in there with Ivan and Ivan's this big, like 6'7" dude, I think 6'8". I can't remember how tall he is. He's massive. And he's like this 300-pound guy. And we were just going through a match and, I wouldn't have him bump and feed for me in a real match, but it was just like, I was trying to get my wind up. So he was just cool bumping and feeding for me. And he got up and I swung this clothesline at him and I just felt this like insane pain in like right up in my upper right pec muscle. And, I yelped. He's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I just couldn't move my arm. And I looked at Abaddon because Abaddon from AEW was there. I'm like, Abby, I'm like, is my boob okay? She looks at me, she's like, no. And I'm like, what? And so I like run to the bathroom because I can just feel all this pressure like up in like almost my armpit. And I'm like, Abby, come in and help me. She's like, okay. And I like take off my shirt and my implant is in my fucking armpit.
You had a titty in your armpit?
It's up in like, so for those that can't see that aren't watching this, I'm holding like my pec connection to my, like where your pectoral muscle connects like right here in your armpit. It is up in my armpit. And I'm like, what do I do? And she's like, oh my God. And I sit there, I'm like, okay, we're just going to see if this will go back down. And I start pushing it and I can feel the skin expanding. I start pushing it back down and it just plops back into place. I'm like, oh. And she's like, oh my God. And we're both like, what happened? So I text my surgeon because we're like, it's Dr. Courtney. He's cool. And he's like, okay, you had what's called basically the capsule around it. So when you get implants, your body forms like a little membrane around it. It's called a capsule. And that's where you get like capsular contraction and like girls have to get them removed. It was a sudden like traumatic capsule burst. So the capsule that held it in place burst. It was just like fucking up. So now this side is kind of like funky. It just doesn't sit right. But if I were to squeeze, like this, it'll go back up in my armpit. So I cannot lay on my chest. If I sit certain ways, like it'll slide up in my armpit. It's brutal.
It's like total recall titty.
Well, no, she had 3. I still
Well,
have 2. I haven't
well,
grown the 3rd one yet. I mean, it's the thing. I'm already I got all sorts of weird surgeries going on. I guess I could do a
oh,
3rd tit.
oh
Why not?
God, my armpit, like, I'm just thinking of a
So it's
titty
like
and an
my
armpit.
tits are I don't even want a guy to see my titties. I'm like, oh, I
Well,
need another
I have to say,
surgery.
guys, I have seen her titties. I
Yes,
saw them this morning,
I
as a
walk
matter of
around
fact,
naked all the time in
darling.
front of Mickey.
You have, first of all, we are our own worst critic, and like you, I've stopped giving a major fuck about like all the things that I could shame myself about, because trust me, there are some things that I would love to fix and change. And again, we're all in transition. We're all in
Yeah.
renovation phases of our lives, especially when you come from a season of not giving a fuck to a season of I do give a fuck about certain things. And I feel like I've reached the season of my life where I do give a fuck, but I give a fuck about things that are going to impact me. And when I say that, I mean that in an empathetic way as well, because I want the people around me to be kinder to themselves. And if
Yeah.
people aren't, and I realize they're not in that season, I don't not love them and I do not give a fuck. But I have to realize that I've been in that season. So I kindly step the fuck off.
Sure.
And I'm like, I'm going to let you live because I can't pour into your cup right now. Because,
No, that's the thing too. People spend too much time pouring into other people's cups when theirs is not even half full to begin with. You got to take care of you.
Yeah.
That's part of having faith in you is
Yeah.
is literally filling up your cup first. And to all you busy moms out there, single parents, whatever it is, where you're just trying to like take care of your family. And I tell my clients this all the time. Like, if you don't do something for yourself and you don't fill your cup is going to be half empty. Can you ever expect to be all you could be for your family?
Yeah.
You gotta take a moment for yourself. You gotta do things for yourself. Taking a breath is so important. And if you're continuously pouring into people's cups and not taking care of yourself, you're going to be miserable your whole life.
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at in this season, is because I've noticed that the season of transition or the season of healing, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm learning so much about the world, and in the first episode we talked a bit about like the sobriety of our lives and like how I'm kind of there as well. One of the things that I've gathered from this chapter of my life is that I feel again. I feel everything, things that I didn't. And, I'm seeing so many people posting, and I don't know if it's ironically or what, but on social media, I've been going through, maybe it's because I'm talking about it, that I'm seeing others talk about celebrating 7 years, celebrating 5 years. And the thing that
5 years of what?
Sobriety. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm out, like the phones listen to fucking everything. And
They do. Instead of the Alexas and everything, it's just like, yeah.
I don't know if it's ironic, though, that it's happening, or if it's because so many people are done with those parts of their life now that they're where, they're at now. But like, one of the things about feeling for me is that part of my feeling around me is that I'm feeling myself in a way where I now know that what I feel is authentic and it's not infused from a drink, a drug, a prescription.
God, right?
And I love that because it allowed me to connect with someone like you, my mom, anybody in a different way, where now I'm like, wow, I'm receiving this differently now. I'm receiving your challenges and the things you've gone through differently so that I can plug it into what I'm going through and play that game now.
Right.
It's like I've become like a PlayStation 5, darling. And I'm like plugging into
Push all the buttons, honey.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
They've got those rumble packs. Those are fun.
Oh.
You can rumble pack me.
I just, I feel like it's important for us to have our faith. It's our journey. Listen to the world around you. Feel the world around you. You don't have to, live someone else's life. It's okay to listen. Some people believe in God. Some people believe in Jesus. Some people don't. Some people are atheists. And it doesn't mean you have to hate on them or not be a part of their lives. Like, I love that all my friends are so different. I love that.
So we're like the perfect example because you've come back to Jesus. And like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I've moved away. Priscilla's, again, her family was deep in the church, and I got back. I was raised in a Christian household. We went to church every Sunday with my mom. My dad had to work on Sundays, so he would go on like the holidays and stuff. And I was Christian growing up.
Yeah.
That's why I have that Hebrew tattoo. It's Song of Songs 6:6 says, "I'm my beloved's my beloved, it's mine. Ani le dodi ve dodeli." But I put it in Hebrew because I wanted to just pay a little homage to the original Bible verse, because
Yeah,
it was the Old
absolutely.
Testament was written in Hebrew. And now I look at it, I'm like, well, I don't believe in God anymore. I don't know what I believe in. I'm such a scientist that I'm just like, I believe that there might be a higher power for
Mhm.
sure. There's so many coincidences in the universe with like Fibonacci sequence and all these things where, you see that on a grander scale. You see
Mhm.
Fibonacci in flowers, you see it in, seashells, but yet you see it in the Milky Way, in the shape of the universe. It's also the same ratio. I'm like, there's there's a lot going on that I don't understand,
Mhm.
but I don't personally believe in the current Bible, and I don't know if there's a God or not, or if God is what we were raised to think God and Jesus was. I don't know if it was a story that was told. I can tell you the Bible's been translated so many fucking
And it's
times.
being translated again
Oh
because of what
God.
you're saying. I mean, there's churches that are reopening up the doors
Yeah.
to homosexuality.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
even in the Catholic Church.
it's
And
all shifting, and one of the biggest things that got me was, knowing about the Council of Nicaea, where a couple hundred people decided like what books go in the Bible for the entire millions of people in the world.
Mhm.
And it was done very quickly. And at that moment, I'm like, oh, so there's a couple of people deciding what the entire world's going to believe in. I'm out. And so just knowing the way politics work nowadays, I'm like, okay. But I'm not saying that to stray you away from your faith. What I'm
You
saying
wouldn't
is
be
that
able
like,
to, but I love
and
you.
I would
I
never,
love
I
you.
would never.
I love
But
you.
you knowing that like I don't currently believe,
Yeah.
we are still besties.
That's
That is the beauty in like friendship, true friendship.
friendship, and that's the beauty in the world, because that's the thing is you fly to places like I got to go to Saudi Arabia plenty of times. And the first time, Gabby, that was scary. And
Oh,
not
I bet.
only
I'd have to cover my Hebrew tattoo. I'd like it
Gabby,
removed before I went.
listen, I have God all over my body. I have crosses, I have
Oh,
love, I
yeah.
have
Did you cover up?
scripture. Nope.
Woo.
No, because of like what we just said, you wouldn't be able to. You couldn't flex my flex, because here's the thing. If I'm going to go,
Like get thrown in jail or something.
but if I'm going to go, that's it.
Oh,
I'm going to fight. I'm going to do me, because that's who Mickey is. That's
I
who
love
I
that.
am defined
I
as.
love
And
that
I will
about you.
fight for my people too. I would do the same thing for my people. And that's just it. And my people is such a beautiful group of wonderful human beings. And we're all shaped. We're all different. We're all at different ethnicities in my heart.
Some are cut, some are uncut.
Don't get me going. God. But no, I flew to Saudi Arabia in a place where, and I was thrown into that, by the way. Like I was told like weeks before, so I didn't have much time. I barely knew many people in the company at the time, so I was kind of just out there. And like the only
This is what WWE.
yeah,
Okay.
and Natty was the only real like person I knew on that trip, and this was first for her. Bliss was there as well.
Okay.
I remember that because it was supposed to be Bliss and Natty was supposed to actually be the first WrestleMania, the first women's wrestling match in Saudi
In
Arabia,
Saudi.
and it never
Woo.
happened. It was not.
Oh.
They weren't ready. It wasn't a
I just
WWE thing. Vince was ready.
Saudi wasn't ready.
Saudi was just like, so because they figured, with all the hospital visits, this was a lot of exposure for the women already.
Oh, and I think last time I watched, now they've been there a couple times, like
Yeah.
the girls are very covered up now.
Oh yeah, and I mean we've come a long way at WWE anyways, but like my point is I didn't have many people to cling on to
Mm-hmm.
in that moment. So I remember all I had was my faith. And I said, God, I trust you. That same trip, I loved Saudi Arabia so much. I wanted to indulge in it. And because I was so confident in my faith that I was going to be protected, I was like, I didn't know anybody, so I didn't know what I could and couldn't do. What did Mickey do? He got on an Uber. Yeah, got on the app, got in a car.
In Saudi.
Yep.
Okay.
And I was on my way to a mall. because I was like, oh, I'm going shopping, honey.
Oh, you just put everything out there.
I got a
You take
phone.
security with you?
Oh, I got a phone call not even 10 minutes into my drive, which is so weird. Everyone was randomly looking for me. It was because they had gotten the Iggy that I had gotten in a car and was I was going somewhere. And they were like, wait, what is he doing?
Oh.
He could be taken for ransom, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what was going through their minds. No one physically
The security's on it.
They were on it. They were like, no, and obviously this is our first round.
So you have no idea.
Nobody knows. But let me tell you something. Best conversation with an Uber driver that I could ever have had.
Okay.
Best conversation was happening in that car.
Okay.
I was not in fear. I was not concerned. I was not worried. I didn't have anything about any of that. I could give
English just fine.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. I was a normal man in the back of a fucking car. He didn't ask me what I believed in. He didn't ask what dick I was sucking. He was concerned.
What dick are you sucking?
At the time, none. But I was where I was I was fine. I had faith. I wasn't worried. But I turned around. The gentleman was super kind. I felt so bad. He was so excited that American, like I was getting ready to go explore the mall.
Oh, but you had to go back?
Oh, yeah. Come back. I ended up going back. They were like, dude, that could have gone really bad. That could have gone whatever. What if you would have gotten lost? What if you lost
wag
signal?
of the finger, my friend. And then what happened?
And I turned around and I looked at that human being, and he was wonderful. He's no longer with the company anymore, but he was an awesome human being. And he said to me, Mickey, he was like, what made you do it? And I was like, do you want to know the truth? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, my faith. I wasn't worried. And he looked at me and I was like, are you confused? Like, what happened? And he was like, I just didn't take you as that guy. And I was like, oh, gotcha.
Well, guess what, motherfucker?
Yeah. And I don't need to go. You understand where I'm going from. But I get that all the time. I get it all the time. And that's I suspect that will change over time. But and it's a conversation I'm totally down to dwindle in. I have my friend Matt Counts. I'm looking in the mic again. My friend Matt Counts, who's been with me through journeys. He has seen elements of me.
He's seen things and stuff about Mickey?
Positions, poses.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, Matt, were you guys like a thing?
No.
Oh.
Matt.
It's like a Gabbi walking around without her shirt on around you kind of thing.
We are... God, Matt has been there, done that with me through many years. We've known each other through many seasons. And now Matt is a Christian man who has since wrote a book on Jesus and how much he loves homosexuals, and he's like breaking it down.
Oh, I bet some people are going to lose their shit when you say Jesus loves homosexuals.
Yeah,
I guarantee people are going to lose their shit listening to this right now.
It's a beautiful book. I'm going to post about it on my social media.
Well, because hardcore Christians be like, Jesus doesn't love homosexuals.
Well, he also doesn't love women on their periods inside the same home as their husband.
It was the joke that I had last night. Yeah. We went to get Baskin Robbins last night. I had a Life is About Balance day, if you guys know me, I'm about balance. So I have shirts to say Life is About Balance, by the way. So I was wearing my my spiritual Life is About Balance shirt, and next to Baskin and Robbins is this boba shop, and they're known for they're Christians, and they blast Christian music outside. So like they got tables outside. So you walk by to all these other shops, there's just this Christian music blasting. And Mia's like, oh, maybe we should go in. I'm like, honey, I would ignite in flames if I walked in that door. And she looks, she's like, took her a second. She goes, oh, I get it. I'm like, yep. I'm like, yeah, Jesus doesn't love
a percentage of you would melt, by the way.
A percentage?
Yeah, well.
Oh, the rest of the fucking silicone in me would stay. Be two cheek implants, 2 lip implants, and 2 boobies.
We're all right.
It's a bunch of melted silicone.
But you know what? I have to say, through the journeys that we've gone through, having our faith is so important. And it's no matter what walk of life you're in, where you're at, who you believe in, what you believe in, where you're believing it at, it's about finding it in your heart and getting through, because really life is a day-to-day thing. Really. That's what it's all about. Oh God,
yes.
That's what it's all about.
If you try to look at the long run, you're gonna give up early. You have to deal with life One day at a time.
Absolutely.
One day at a if you try to even think about what's gonna happen tomorrow and anticipate, you're gonna spin stories in your head that aren't real about every possible situation, like, one day at a time. One
Yeah.
day at a time, deep breath, have faith in yourself or whatever it is that you are personally believing in. Give yourself some grace, as we always say.
Yeah.
Grace is needed, and
Yeah.
just do it one day at a time.
It has to be because you know what, Gabby? We are only here for this long. And if we can just focus on today, life would be, I think, a lot more easier.
Well, in that case, moral of the story today, give 0 fucks, have faith, and give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Episode 3. We're out.